What it is, my G's, I go by the name of DJAvenger, aka Rain, and today you and I are breaking down who's better, Scottie Pippen versus Kawhi Leonard. Before we get into this video, make sure you subscribe, like, and click the notification bell to stay updated. Scottie Pippen and Kawhi Leonard are two of the best small forwards of their eras. Their games are defined by playing in-your-face defense, high IQ basketball, and being solid scorers on the offensive end. There are some differences in their games, mainly Kawhi being an all-time great mid-range scorer and Scottie Pippen being more of a playmaking point forward. Regardless, both will be considered two of the game's greats. Scottie Maurice Pippen Sr. was born September 25th, 1965 in Hamburg, Arkansas. Scottie is one of 12 children. In high school, Scottie played point guard and led his team to the playoffs. He was also named All-Conference. Coming out of high school, he only stood at 6'1". He did not receive any college offers even though he played great in high school. His freshman year in college, he played for the University of Central Arkansas. During that time, he grew to be 6'8", but that late growth spurt allowed him to harness his skills as a playmaker. In his senior year in college, he averaged 24 points, 10 rebounds, shooting 64% from the field. Scottie declared himself eligible for the 1987 NBA draft, where he would be selected 5th by the Seattle Supersonics, who traded him to the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls were impressed so much by Pip before the draft that they decided to trade for him with the 8th pick and future picks as well. The Bulls also selected power forward Horace Grant with the 10th pick in that same draft. Scottie would be a backup in his first 2 seasons and eventually started in the 88 playoffs. He would wind up averaging 17 points on 49% shooting from the field in the 1990 season and earned his first All-Star selection. In 89 and 90, he helped the Bulls reach the conference finals, but his team would get scraped up and packed up by the Goon Squad jailball champs of the Motor City, the Pistons. In Game 7 of the conference finals versus the Pistons, Pip was affected by a severe migraine which hurt his play on the court and was one of the main reasons the Bulls lost the game 93-74. The following season, he would come into his own. He became the leading playmaker and the main perimeter defender on the other end of the court. That season, he won second team all defense. In the finals, the Bulls would face off against the Lakers led by Magic Johnson and defeated them in 5 games. And that would be their first championship. In 92, he helped the Bulls win back-to-back championships, and he was also named to the original Dream Team. They went on to win gold in the Olympics by defeating Thanos. The next year, the Bulls would three-peat, becoming only the 3rd franchise to do so in NBA history. In 94, MJ will retire, giving Pippen the opportunity to become the unquestioned leader of the Bulls moving forward, and would also allow him to show what he could do as the main star of the team. That season, he averaged 22, 9, and 6 with 3 steals and almost 1 block on 49% shooting from the field. That year, he made All-NBA first team and almost won the MVP. For his career, Pitt made 10 All-NBA defensive teams, 8 firsts and 2 seconds. With Michael Jordan back and the worm Dennis Rodman doing what goons do in the paint, elbowing people in their throats and grabbing every rebound in sight, the Bulls posted the best regular season record in NBA history at 72-10, which eventually would be broken by the Golden State Warriors. In the 96-97 season, Pippen was selected among the 50 greatest players of all time. He earned an All-NBA Defensive First Team honor as well as All-NBA Second Team honor for that season. The 97-98 season began with speculation that it would be the last in Chicago for Pippen, Jordan, and Jackson. That season, of course, is immortalized in Jordan's documentary The Last Dance. Pitt purposefully delayed off-season surgery so that his summer off-season would not be complicated by rehab, pushing his unavailability well into the regular season. He was also angry that the team's GM did not want to renegotiate his contract. Eventually, he came back and helped the team win its 6th title and second three-peat, but many would claim that it was their most difficult road because they were pushed to 7 games by the Indiana Pacers in the conference finals. But the damage was done. In 98-99, he went on to play with the round mound, the rebound Charles Barkley, and the Rockets points, but the team exited the playoffs early, which led to Pip asking for a trade and led to a dispute between him and Charles Barkley. In the offseason, he was traded to the Blazers for half the bench and 2/3 of the janitors in East Oregon. Pippen started at small forward for the Portland Trail Blazers and helped lead the team to a 59-win season. That year, they made it to the Western Conference Finals against his old coach Phil Jackson. He had mentioned before the season that he wanted to join the Lakers, but things didn't work out with that trade. The series against the Lakers went 7 games, up 15 in the fourth quarter. The Blazers were close to a trip to the finals, but Kobe Bryant and Shaq managed to erase Portland's lead and win the game 89-84, and with that also the series. In that game, Pippen struggled, shooting only 30% from the field. As far as Portland, they never made it that far again. Eventually, Scottie came back to Chicago in 03 and would retire in 05. Moving on to Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Anthony Leonard was born on June 29, 1991. He attended Martin Luther King High School. In his senior year, he and Tony Snell led the Wolves to a 30-3 record. Leonard averaged 23 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 assists with 3 blocks per game and was named California Mr. Basketball. Leonard was listed in 2009 as the number 8 small forward and the number 48th best player in the nation. As a freshman at San Diego State University in 2009 and 10, Kawhi averaged 13 points and 10 rebounds per game. He helped win the Mountain West Conference tournament title. The team earned an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament but would lose in the first round to Tennessee. The next year, he averaged 16 and 10 and led his team to back-to-back conference tournament chips. The team earned another trip to the NCAA tournament. This time, they advanced to the Sweet 16, but then they lost to UConn. Leonard was named to the second-team All-America and left San Diego State to enter the 2011 NBA draft. Sports Illustrated reported before the draft that NBA scouts were aware that Leonard had a strong work ethic and had good size at 6'7" with a 7'3" wingspan and 11-inch hands. He was compared to Metta World Peace and Gerald Wallace, but his shot was a concern. In the 2011 draft, he was selected 15th overall by the Indiana Pacers, but was traded to the Spurs in exchange for George Hill. No disrespect to George Hill, but the Pacers was wildin' with that one. Not a fair trade at all. After Richard Jefferson was traded to the Warriors for Steven Jackson, Kawhi was named the starting small forward. At the end of the season, he was named to the 2012 NBA All-Rookie First Team. The next year, the San Antonio Spurs advanced to the NBA Finals, where they faced the Miami Heat. He averaged 15 and 11 in the finals, but the Spurs lost in 7 games. The season after that, he averaged 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists with 2 steals. He helped the Spurs get a 62-20 record and was named to the NBA All-Defensive Second Team. The Spurs faced the Heat again in the NBA Finals. In Game 3, Leonard scored a career-high 29 points in a blowout victory. The Spurs wound up winning the series 4-1. Leonard averaged 18 points on 61% shooting from the field and was named Finals MVP. On April 23rd of the 14-15 season, he was named the NBA Defensive Player of the Year, joining Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon as the only other players to win both Defensive Player of the Year and NBA Finals MVP. But the Spurs would go on to lose the first round series versus the Clippers. That offseason, he re-signed with the Spurs for 5 years, $90 million. In the 15-16 season, he earned his first All-Star selection. Kawhi got his second Defensive Player of the Year, going back-to-back and finished second in the MVP race. The next year, he would make the All-Star team again. He would lead the team to the Western Conference Finals again, but in the third quarter of Game 1 against the Golden State Warriors, Zaza, no smoke, got under Kawhi as he took a corner jump shot and Kawhi landed on Zaza's foot. He left the game and was cleaning the fryers in the burger stand for the rest of the playoffs. The play caused a lot of controversy around the league, mainly Skip Bayless believing that the Spurs would have won the series if it wasn't for Zaza's dirty play. For his trouble, Kawhi earned All-NBA Team and All-NBA Defensive Team selection. In the 2017-2018 season, Kawhi missed the first 27 games of the season with a quad injury. He would be in and out of the lineup, but on January 17th, he was ruled out indefinitely. Eventually, he was cleared to play by the Spurs staff, but he wanted an outside second opinion. 2 months later, the team held a players-only meeting where the team goons tried to press him, and allegedly there was a standoff and lives were on the line, allegedly. They ran down on him and was like, yo, Brody, bro, you best get back on the court, cause what's the clause of the Second Amendment? tournament, allegedly. Anyway, things got heated, words got exchanged, and Kawhi sat out the rest of the season. That was a very productive meeting. In June 2018, reports leaked that Leonard had requested a trade, much of it having to do with how the team wanted to handle his injury. On July 18th, Kawhi and Danny Green got traded to the Toronto Raptors for DeMar DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl, and a first-round draft pick. The move was risky for a player that was possibly on a one-year rental, plus they didn't know how he would play coming off that injury. In Game 1 of the second round of the 2019 playoffs against the Sixers, Kawhi had a playoff career-high 45 points. The series would be tied going into Game 7. In the final seconds of the game, Kawhi drove to the right corner and shot a fadeaway over Joel Embiid. The ball bounced 44 times on the rim and went in at the buzzer to give the Raptors a 92-90 victory. Kawhi took 39 shots in the game and scored 41 points. The next round, the Raptors defeated the Bucks. In the finals, the Raptors took advantage of a crippled Warriors team who had lost KD to Achilles and eventually lost Klay Thompson to an ACL too. But shout out to Klay for trying to come back and shoot those 2 free throws, but eventually he wound up having to leave the game. And he was cleaning fryers too in the burger stand too. Kawhi won NBA Finals MVP for the second time. That offseason, he decided to leave Canada to join the Clippers for 3 years, $103 million, which included an opt-out clause. Kawhi made the All-Star team and won All-Star MVP. After the season was paused because of the pandemic, the Clippers ran up on the Nuggets in the playoffs and quickly built a 3-1 lead. But Jamal Murray put the chopper to Thanos' throat and relieved him of the Infinity Stones and turned around and proceeded to moonwalk all over the Clippers' pride. The Nuggets won the series in 7, bursting the Clippers' bubble in the bubble. Kawhi won his 7th All-NBA Defensive Team selection and 5th All-NBA Team selection. In the first round of the 2021 NBA playoffs, the Clippers faced the Mavericks for the rematch of the previous year. They beat the Mavs, Kawhi got injured, the Clippers still beat the Jazz, and the Suns flamed them, got him out of there. Then the Suns got packed up by the Bucks. And in 2021, Kawhi re-signed with the Clippers. So the question is, who's better? Kawhi's legacy isn't set yet. He obviously needs more championships to make it a closer race. I wouldn't be surprised if people still picked him over Scottie. He's done something Scottie never did though, which is lead a team to the chip, but he has never won back-to-back or 3 in a row. So I'ma leave this to y'all. Who do y'all think is better, Kawhi or Pippen? I ran through enough of the stats to give y'all a good idea of where they are versus each other. Let me know in the comment section below, and if you had to build a team and you had to pick one of the two, who would you pick? And I know I might sound like I'm copping out, but this one is difficult, and I feel like hearing y'all opinions more than me just giving y'all mine. But yeah, we gonna leave it right there. Like I said, man, drop that comment below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and all that. My name is DJAvenger, aka Rain. Catch you on the flip side. Gone.